We just came out of Pesach, the festival of Pesach. It was just Israel Hag yesterday, and very, very interesting. We know that on the festival of Pesach, in the Dayenu, there's different customs, especially coming from the Persian community with regards to, let's just say, affectionately or gently brushing other people with various vegetables, which we talk about inside the Dayenu prayer. But let's look at some different customs that are within regards to the Persian Jewish community. Also, I'm adapting this from a great Chabad article. Also, I'll just feature a few things, and very, very interesting. So, the first fact that we can see is that naturally Jewish people have been living in Persia, in Iran, since the times of the Torah, of the Bible itself. In fact, they say that many of the events of Purim, as we learn about in the Megillah to Esther, the book of Esther naturally, took place in the Persian capital of Shushan, which we also know very, very well. Also, it's known as Susa, and now it's the site of the Hamadan, which is the modern city of Iran. Okay, so what's interesting also, let's look at more. There's we've got the Persian rabbis are mullahs. So what are we talking about that? We know that naturally there's terms which we use for a rabbi, a scholar, such as Rav, Chacham, Rebbe, Rabbi. Many popular among many Sephardic Jews from a Spanish and from Edut Mizrach descent and Persian descent is to call their rabbis a mullah. This Arabic or Persian word for master. So when we're saying mullah and then addressing the rabbi's name, it's master we are referring to also over there, which is very, very important. Good fact also. There's this concept that Persian Jews aren't necessarily Sephardim per se. So what do we mean by this over here? European Jews, or many Jews, different Jews, sometimes will put all Middle Eastern Jews together under one general name, let's just say, of Sephardic. However, Persian Jews have their own ancient traditions that predate the rise of the Sephard back in the 10th century. This was in the, okay, it's more accurate to refer to Persians, Sephardim, and others from the region are the Edut Mizrach, communities of the East, to divide them into those words to know which category each community comes from, which is very, very important. Okay, we also know that there's several great Torah figures also buried in Iran, naturally in Persia. It's actually interesting, the tombs, the kebers of Mordechai and Esther are in Hamadan. The great prophet Habakkuk in an area called Toyserkan, which is probably about an hour away from Hamadan, and Daniel the prophet, Daniel Hanavi, is in Shush, the southern Iran, and it's also reported over that Serch Bat Asher in Isfahan also. So there is a huge amount of rich Jewish heritage coming actually from Iran, just from that. We know naturally nowadays that most Jewish people have left Iran, but there's still a population of approximately 10,000, maybe a bit less, give or take, maybe around that figure. And but however, about a century ago, there was much more people than that, where there was more than 200,000 people at least that were living there at that stage in time. Many people, after the 1979 revolution, many people ended up leaving Iran, maybe just before or afterwards. It's actually interesting. Jewish people come from all over Iran, not just one part of Iran. Jewish communities all over Iran, great Torah communities also. Like, say, for example, you could tell them that there's communities from Shiraz, Isfahan, Tehran, Yazd, so many different places over there. And it's actually interesting, a lot of the Persian communities, there's a great Persian community in New York, in Great Neck, for example, in Los Angeles. Some people call it Terror Angeles, they will nickname it also. But people will refer to it from the city they are actually in Iran. Those things, there's a great passion and of heritage with regards to all of them. It's actually interesting. Another fact is that their family names are unique. You could say many Persian family names contain the given name male ancestor, so such as Rachamim or Abraham, followed by different words called Zadeh, Yan, Pur, Far, so many different names. Like you could have many family names of the name Zadeh, like Karim Zadeh, or different, or could be just plain Zadeh, and especially Pur, we'll see. Hakimi Yan, there's a word Yan it finishes with. So, for example, Hakimi Yan, many different ways also. And the Far is the ending of many other names. So let's give some examples over here. David Zadeh, this common name, so that's where Zadeh will come in. The word, say, Chayimpur, that's another one, or Nikfar. These are different names. Other names actually reflect the professions or cities of origin. So you could find many Iranians with the last name Teherani, or Shirazi, or Kashani. These are all popular names named after places over there. Nowadays, the majority of Persian Jewry proportionality actually moved to Israel. We know that it's very much scattered, as I spoke about before. Many people moved to America, to New York. Many people. There was a community in London, a great community. I believe in Milan there was a Mashadi community over there. People came. I think in New Jersey there's a community, if I'm not mistaken, over here. But especially in New York, Long Island, Beverly Hills, in California, there are very strong Iranian communities also. And today there's still great amounts of Jewish life in Iran itself. Obviously, there's kosher food production over there. There's still synagogues. There's mikvaot over there. Also, there's even yeshivot and kolelim reported over there. And it's got very much great heritage to it, and current great heritage. Now, the Mashadi community also, I'm partly Mashadi also, which Mashadi people are very proud of their origins, and got a fantastic community, a lot of excellent community bonds over there. And among Persian Jews, those who stem from Mashhad, they will consider themselves as a class of their own. Of course, all Jews, we should all be proud of our heritage from where we're from, but especially the Mashhadi Jews are very proud. In the year 1839, this community in this area faced persecution, and a lot of persecution, and the community of there was this concept that the community had to convert to Islam, all of them, while maintaining their Judaism in secret. This is something maybe we should dedicate a separate year to. Due to their uniquely perilous situation, many of them relocated several times because of this situation. Some people would move to different places also. And it's actually interesting, many Mashadis would just marry a fellow Mashadis. If someone else has got Mashadi heritage. Also, of course, me as a person, I believe that people, if someone is suitable for someone else, whatever culture they come from, a Jewish spouse, and if it's the right fit, that for sure is very important that it's followed through of it. But the Mashadis in general, they are very they would marry within the community. And many of the times, obviously, there's a lot of exceptions to that. I know a lot of Mashadi Jews that married Ashkenazim or different Sephardi Jews also. And most of the community, as I stated before, live in Milan at the moment, in Great Neck, and in New York. Those are the places where the Mashadi community also lives in. And there's a lot more facts you could say also within regards to the Jews of Iran. And we could look at some more of the facts over here. So just to add on, we know that the Jews of Iran have lived there for almost 3,000 years. So that is definitely a long time. It's actually interesting. We could also add that within regards to this, another fact, it was reported over, I think, the Aish website, Aish Torah, that Jews in Iran were forced to wear yellow armbands. What's this about? The advent of Islam forever altered life for the Jews of ancient Persia, and we know that naturally until today. The Muslim conquest of Persia in the 7th century, including a battle in 642, that Arabs call the Victory of Victories, effectively brought an end to the overall safety and tolerance of the Jewish people enjoyed under most of Persian kings, which the battle reported over also ended 2,000 years of Persian independence. And at that stage in time, Islam rapidly spread Muslim leaders were forced to find ways to deal with non-Muslim communities, including many Jewish communities, some of whom comprised the majority of several cities. As restrictions and humiliations grew, the Pact of Umar made life even more difficult for Jewish people who were forbidden from holding government office, for example, serving in the military, or even riding white donkeys, which is a symbol of purity. This is, Persian Jews were also forced to wear yellow armbands, and Christians wore them in blue. Also, this is another fact. Also, it's actually interesting. We could also it's also pointed out that Persian Jewish people have a connection with French Jewish philanthropists. Or how is this from? There was, if you've ever benefited from the help of a Persian Jewish doctor, lawyer, entrepreneur, or another person of great profession over there, there was a French Jewish philanthropist offered the Jewish communities of the Middle East over 100 years ago. There was the famous Alliance Israelite Universal. It was a Paris-based international Jewish organization which was founded in the year 1860, which was believed that Jewish self-sufficiency and self-defense could be best achieved through education and vocational training over there. And they had many schools, I think, in Iran they set up over here. And the Jewish communities in the Middle East, they called as Alliance organization, established French language schools that offered Jews in countries such as Iran, Morocco, Iraq, Turkey, Tunisia, Syria, and elsewhere. First, secular education also, which has to be pointed out. This was particularly life-changing for Jewish children from poor families, to give them a chance over there. That should also be pointed out also within regards to these things. I know there was in Kerman, where my family come from, there was a Torah schools also that was there. I've got to double check the name maybe for another video over there, but there were people that was there was people learning Torah. I know Chok Yisrael was a popular thing, was a popular great Torah book to learn also over there. More can be added also within regards to the great in Iranian heritage. For example, the food is absolutely delicious, in my opinion, and many people's opinion, like the rice, tadik. The tadik is like a form of chips also, which is great. There's a food called gondi over here, which is a favorite. What is it, this friends? It's a chicken or lamb and chickpea flour meatballs that are eaten on Shabbat and often served with rich meat, let's say with added turmeric, filled with a broth called abgust also, which is gondi is said to have originated among the Jewish community in Tehran. It came from, actually, interesting enough, and as meat was expensive, we all know, reserved only for Shabbat. The most famous version of gondi is made with ground chicken, minced onions, chickpea flour, and a heaping amount of ground cardamom over there. It's like, in a way, it can be sometimes eaten as like the Persian equivalent of a matzah bowl soup also. And it is absolutely delicious. My personal favorite is the choresht, which you put on the rice. Sometimes it's absolutely delicious, and I strongly recommend everyone to eat it also. So I think approximately at the moment 8,500 Jewish people actually do live in Iran, approximately. I don't know if that's the latest figures from this stage in time, but it's got absolutely phenomenal Jewish culture over there. Came from Iran. So much else can be said about it. Maybe we'll dedicate it to another period also, especially about the history of here. I'm always very interested in it because naturally I am, me myself being of Persian heritage, I very much to have a lot of pride within regards to the incredible heritage of this incredible community also over here. Which is very, very interesting. Yeah, so we could just add on another thing, the different prominent Persian Jewish people from the big biblical area. Let's look at them. Obviously, which we talked about before, was also Daniel, Esther from the Megillat Esther story, Ezra, Habakkuk, which I mentioned before, Haggai, Mordechai, Yehudi, the great story in the Purim, the great man in the Purim story, Nehemiah and Zerubbabel. Also, you've got my it's the root of my family name that is from Zerubbabel. Also, Zerubbabel naturally over here, and I would very much recommend everyone else to research on the great Rabbanim, Iran, also the history of the Jews of the Iran, the exodus of Iranian Jews, and all these different topics within regards to that. Now let's just look at who have been the chief rabbis recently of Iran. There was Rabbi Yedidia Shofet, was in the 1920s, I think even till the year 1980, he was rabbi of the Koresh synagogue in Iran. Then there was a rabbi between the years 1980 to 1994 called Rabbi Uriel Davidi, who was rabbi of Dar Yosef Hamadani Kohen, Abad synagogue also. Then there was Rabbi Mashallah Golestani Nejad, who was rabbi of Yosef Abad synagogue. And from 2011 till even nowadays, the current rabbi is Rabbi Yehuda Jerami or Gerami, you could pronounce it, who is currently the rabbi of the Yosef Abad synagogue. So I'm wishing you all a great day. I hope this was thought provocative. Don't forget to smash the like button from the video. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed. Also, I'm Yisrael Chai, but I like to be informative. So thanks for all the fantastic feedback and have a great day.